In this episode, we're exploring the postcard-perfect village of Godshill on the Isle of Wight, a place famed for its thatched cottages, timeless streets, and deep-rooted legends. We'll wander up to the historic All Saints Church, perched on the hill with views that have inspired artists and storytellers for centuries, and step into the enchanting model village, where Godshill itself is recreated in miniature. Along the way, we'll uncover local history, hidden details, and the little moments that make this one of the island's most photographed destinations. So come with us as we slow down, soak in the charm, and discover why Godshill feels like stepping straight into an English storybook. Let's start with how to get to Godshill from London. The simplest route is to take a train from London Waterloo to Portsmouth Harbour, which takes around 1 hour, 30 minutes. From there, you can walk straight onto the White Link passenger ferry to Ryde Pier Head, or head to Southsea for the hovercraft if you want the fastest crossing. There are several ferry options to reach the Isle of Wight. Check out the ferry guide linked in the description box for all the details. Once you reach Ryde, hop on the Island Line train to Shanklin, and then catch a Southern Vectis bus that goes directly to Godshill. After soaking in the breathtaking coastal views along the Military Road, we continued our journey inland toward the charming village of Godshill. If you haven't seen the Military Road episode yet, I've linked it in the description below. Don't miss it. The drive to Godshill was a delight, winding through rolling green hills, open countryside, and quiet lanes that showcase a more tranquil side of the Isle of Wight. Awaiting us was Godshill itself, with its postcard-perfect thatched cottages, cozy tea rooms, and timeless English village charm. Godshill is a charming village that offers a quintessential slice of England, captivating visitors with its timeless beauty, historic buildings, and peaceful countryside atmosphere. Whether you're here to admire its old-world architecture, enjoy a classic cream tea, or simply wander through its picture-perfect lanes, Godshill never disappoints. It's easy to reach once you're on the Isle of Wight, about a 30-minute drive from any of the main ferry ports. If you're driving, This postcode will take you straight into the village, and there's even a free car park by the old smithy. Godshill is easy to reach thanks to Southern Vectis bus routes 2 and 3, which connect the village to Newport, Shanklin, Sandown, Ventnor, and Ryde. Check the bus website for more information. Godshill is one of the oldest villages on the Isle of Wight, developing as a settlement during the medieval period. Its name, meaning God's Hill, is said to come from a local tale about the building of its church. Each night, the builder's materials were mysteriously moved from the valley to the top of the hill, where the church still stands today. The village grew around All Saints' Church, which was built in the 14th century on the site of an earlier Norman structure. Over time, Godshill became an agricultural community, with many of its cottages and farm buildings dating from the 16th and 17th centuries. Today, it is known for its well-preserved historic architecture and traditional thatched cottages, which reflect the island's rural heritage. The beauty of Godshill isn't just in its thatched cottages. It's in the landscape that surrounds it. Set within an area of outstanding natural beauty, Godshill is framed by rolling chalk downs and green valleys that have shaped life here for centuries. The cottages, built from local sandstone, blend perfectly into the hills. Even the name God's Hill feels born from the land and its legends, a place where nature and history meet. It's this harmony between landscape and life that makes God's Hill truly special. The view of the churchyard, framed by God's Hill's thatched cottages, stone houses, and flower-lined lanes, captures the very essence of English village life. A scene so perfectly picturesque that it has graced countless fudge boxes and chocolate tins, giving rise to the term chocolate box cottages or chocolate box village. Our first stop is the magnificent All Saints' Church. This Great Eye-listed building dates primarily from the 14th century and is a classic example of medieval church architecture. It's impossible to miss, perched majestically on the hill. Inside, one of its greatest treasures is the Lily Cross mural, a rare and beautifully preserved wall painting from the 15th century, one of the few of its kind to survive the Reformation in England. The church also features stunning stained glass windows and a serene churchyard with ancient gravestones offering panoramic views of the surrounding countryside. Entry to the church is free, though donations are gratefully accepted to help with its upkeep. It is an active place of worship, so it's always wise to check for service times before planning your visit. Next, we're visiting one of Godshill's most iconic attractions, the Model Village. This 1/10th scale recreation of Godshill and Shanklin's old village features miniature thatched cottages, a scaled-down All Saints church, and even a model village within a model village. Set in beautifully landscaped gardens, it's a charming and detailed display that delights visitors of all ages. The model village is open daily from spring to autumn, with timings and ticket prices available on its official website. Godshill is an excellent base for walkers, with several scenic footpaths and bridleways winding through the island's lush countryside. The popular Stenbury Trail leads up to Stenbury and Appledurcombe Downs, offering panoramic views across the Isle of Wight and the English Channel. After a day of exploring, Godshill is the perfect place to slow down and enjoy some classic local food. The village is known for its traditional English tea rooms, where freshly baked scones, clotted cream, and homemade jam make cream tea a must-try. Popular spots like the Old Smithy offer that timeless tea and cake charm, while pubs such as the Taverners and the Griffin serve hearty meals and local ales in cozy, historic settings. Whether you're craving a proper lunch or just a sweet treat, the relaxed, welcoming food scene here is a delicious part of the Godshill experience. Just outside Godshill is Appledurcombe House, the haunting shell of a once grand 18th century Baroque mansion once home to the Worsley family. Though now a ruin, its grand architecture and landscaped grounds designed by Capability Brown still showcase its former elegance, a hauntingly beautiful stop for history lovers. A little further on is the Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary, a heartwarming charity that cares for rescued donkeys. It's free to visit, you can meet the animals up close, and donations help support their ongoing care. If you've seen the earlier videos in this series, you'll know I've been staying in Shanklin, so we drove back there afterward. For dinner, we chose Fisherman's Cottage, an iconic beachside pub at the foot of the Chine. With the sound of waves in the background, a warm, rustic interior, and freshly prepared seafood, it was a meal and a setting we'll never forget. For starters, we ordered the grilled tiger prawn, followed by mains of the classic fish and chips and a rich prawn and crab spaghetti. To finish on a sweet note, we enjoyed a chocolate fudge cake for dessert. The Isle of Wight is a beautiful blend of nature, history, and seaside charm, an island that feels timeless yet alive. I'll be back soon with more from this stunning island. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more adventures. See you in the next one.